Cook,
Here.
Hopkins,
Here.
Lonergan,
Here.
Odell,
Here.
Scott,
Here.
Wankel,
Here.
Wormowski, Williams,
Here.
Mayor Izzard.
Here.
City Attorney Beard.
We'll open up the workshop with just a quick announcement, and we have Mr. Hillis here with Benton and Associate if you have questions. I'm just messing with you. We got notified that we did get a OSLAD grant through the Illinois Department of Natural Resources for the swimming pool at Nichols Park upgrade. So that's a really good thing. You know, I think we plugged in about little over $800,000 for the total upgrade, but the grant will pay for half of that. So we'll have to come up with the other half, but this was something that has been in the works for some years now, and it's a good thing. So.
And Mayor, I would just want to throw in that this is also, the community really supported this, and we had lots and lots of signatures in support of this. So this is such exciting news, and super excited for the city. So.
Thanks, Willie. Yeah, it's gonna just moving ahead. Timing's everything as far as construction, and we'll have to kind of dial that up as far as when. But we're. Greg, did you have anything that's about the nuts and bolts of it? I mean. I think the council knows about this anyway. I mean, as far as we've had a lot of discussion over the years, but some are new in the room and, you know, haven't heard the discussion, so.
Yes, it's a very good point. This was submitted about, 2 years ago.
Yep.
You submitted
No, thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. Okay, next up, committee reports, finance, IT, and personnel. Alderman Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the record, we held a finance committee meeting last Thursday to discuss some capital improvement projects that need to be done, and I'm going to turn it over to the city clerk. He's got all the facts and figures. He does. He got
we had, just to let the council know, there were a couple of things that popped up. The roof on the Nichols Park Pavilion had been on our radar for several years. It really wasn't on the radar for this year, but after close inspection and everything and the rains that we had, it was determined that the work that we had done on the inside of the building was in jeopardy of being damaged if we didn't get the roof repaired. So the roof repair is estimated at $65,000 for the roof and approximately $20,000 for engineering to make sure that we get all the bids out to the company. So $85,000 there. Another thing that was omitted on the capital improvement budget, it was put in there, but unbeknownst or not remembering, the contract for the, is it College Avenue? Les? Yeah. College Avenue from Church to Clay. We had an overlay on that, and they didn't get everything done. They only got a parking lot there at Leo's, if I'm not mistaken. And so there was $230,000 remaining on that contract, and we're under contract for it. So therefore, those funds have to be allocated in the capital improvement. And there are some doors at the lake and the restrooms, I think, at the lake. And then also the restrooms at Community Park are, I don't know, for a better word, they're falling apart. Then they're steel doors. And so that's kind of, all these things are somewhat of an emergency. So it would behoove us to move an additional $350,000 over to capital improvement to cover these items. Not that we're going to use all of them, because we are to receive approximately $134,000 on the boat ramp that we've already spent. That we'll get that back as soon as the boat ramp is done and we apply for the funds. That's a $200,000 grant that we got there. So that $134,000 will be coming back. But just in case there's a few more emergency things that pop up like I just described, I think it would behoove the council to approve a $350,000 transfer of extra capital improvement funds over to the capital improvement to take care of those items that I just mentioned.
And part of that money's coming from MFT, right?
No, that's
for the roadway.
That's what's on the agenda tonight.
Okay.
MFT is totally different. Any questions? I don't know if I explained it fully or not, but bottom line is, these are things that just were on the capital improvement from years ago, but we didn't know where our funds were going to be for this year. Revenue-wise, we didn't know what the revenues were going to be. So most of the department heads were notified that we probably weren't going to do a lot of the capital improvement items because of that, but these things have popped up. We have to do the road because they're under contract, and the doors to these two buildings that we're talking about at the lake and the park are necessary. They're in the public, and we've got to be able to secure those buildings when they're not in use.
And I would imagine, I think this was the approach that we talked about, how when things pop up, we weren't sure where we were with the capital improvements, so I would anticipate there might be more things popping up during the course of the year. Is that correct? That's it? All right, thank you. Parks and Lakes, Alderman Large Oldmiddle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have one item, discuss engineering agreement with Benton and Associates regarding roof replacement at Nichols Park Pavilion. I think we just had that discussion.
Just told you.
All right,
Anyone have any questions?
thanks, Bree. Planning and Public Works, Alderman Scott.
We have one item, discuss the 2021 MFT Street Maintenance Program. Mr. Burke.
Utility, Alderman Wankel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One item tonight, discuss quote for the pump control panel for the Johnson Street Lift Station project, and Mr. Hedden from Benton is here to tell us about that.
for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'd ask the clerk to please call roll.
Adams,
Here.
Bartlett,
Here.
Cook,
Here.
Hopkins,
Here.
O'Donnell,
Here.
Scott,
Here.
Wankel,
Here.
Wormowski, Williams,
Here.
Mayor Ezra,
Here.
City Attorney Beard. Here. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there a reading of the minutes this evening? Alderman Wankel, second by Alderman Bartlett. All those in favor of,
Excuse me, can I motion, I'd like to make a motion to amend the minutes. Part of the minutes under communication says to allow this request, and I move to amend it to say, as voiced by Mayor Ezra, to approve, quote, approve the race April 29th, unquote.
Where's that at, Steve?
Under communication, under the minutes for the regular meeting on May 22nd, or I'm sorry, March 22nd. I just went over the video and it didn't exactly reflect what happened during the meeting. So like the third or fourth line says to allow this request. And that-
Okay,
And I'm asking that to be changed to, as voiced by Mayor Ezra, to, quote, approve the race April 29th, end quote.
got it.
any others? I would ask the clerk to please call roll. As amended, yes, sorry. Okay. Voice vote. All those in favor of the amended minutes, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Presentation of petitions
No petitions?
and any
We
communication?
have one communication.
Okay.
It is from Illinois College. They are planning a Saturday, May 1st, block party for the students. And that would be from, it's Edge Hill Road, from Lincoln to Park Street, from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. And this event may change depending on the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. So if you're approving it, they're going to make a determination whether or not it's open to have it. So right now, no,
Okay,
that's it.
that's it. And is there a motion tonight to pay claims? Alderman Lonigan, second by Alderman Large Oldnettle. All those in favor of approving the claims, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, there's. Item 1 under the mayor's report is the appointment of Greg Olson to the Heritage Cultural Center Board, term to expire January 1st, 2023. And there's a motion by Alderman Wankel, second by Alderman Cook. All those in favor of,
May I?
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't he move?
he's back.
Oh, he is, okay. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And we love that he's back because of his knowledge on the history of Jacksonville, so we're glad to have him. And they found out he was coming back and they tapped
Yeah, it's
Greg
great news,
immediately.
it's great
Yep.
for the city, but I was like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Thank you.
All those in favor of approving Mr. Olson, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 2 is the appointment of Vicky Scott to the Board of Managers, Jacksonville Cemeteries, term to expire January 1st, 2025. And is there a motion for Ms. Scott, Alderman Williams, second by Alderman Lonergan. There you go. All those in favor of approving Mrs. Scott, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Reappointment of, number 3 is the reappointment of Brian Nyberg to the Jacksonville Policeman's Pension Fund Board of Trustees, term to expire May 1st of 2023. Is there a motion to reappoint Mr. Nyberg? Alderman Scott, second by Alderman Large Oldnettle. All those in favor of approving Mr. Nyberg, reappointing him, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? City Attorney's report.
Thank you. I've got one item, which is second reading of the ordinance amending the Jacksonville Municipal Code, Chapter 3, alcoholic beverages. This is second reading on the liquor license for Shiraz, which is reopening.
Is there a move? Alderman Hopkins, second by Alderman Bartlett.
Be it ordained that the Jacksonville liquor ordinance be amended, adding an additional license for Shiraz.
Any discussion? I would ask the clerk, please call roll.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins. Lonergan,
Yes.
Odenettle,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Wonkel. Wormowski. Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
City clerk's report.
The items on the agenda there, Community Development Department report, City Clerk's cash receipt report, the General Fund budget report, and the Revenue Analysis report for March 31st. Hopefully you all received those in the mail. I sent out an email earlier. Has anyone else not been receiving these in PDF form? I think we've got you all cleared up. I know I got Mike cleared up, and Aaron, did you check your emails? I have not. Okay, I think we've got it cleared up now. That just a fluke on our part. So it's funny that you three were the only 3 out of the bunch that were having a problem, but I think we've got it cleared now. Okay?
Very good. Thank you. Any public comment at this time? Okay, consent agenda items tonight. Finance, IT, and Personnel, Alderman Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have 2 items tonight. First is a resolution authorizing payment from the Capital Improvement Fund for certain improvement projects. And the second item is the resolution authorizing payments from the General Fund for services rendered.
Thank you. Parks and Lakes, Alderman Large Oldnettle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One item this evening, resolution authorizing engineering agreement with Benton and Associates regarding roof replacement at the Nichols Park Pavilion.
Good. And Planning and Public Works, Alderman Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have one item tonight. A resolution authorizing the 2021 MFT Street Maintenance Program for the maintenance of streets and highways by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code.
Very good. And Utility, Alderman Wonkel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 2 items tonight. Number 1, resolution authorizing payments from the Waterworks and Surges Project Fund for services rendered improvement projects. Number 2, resolution approving a quote for the pump control panel for the Johnson Street Lift Station project, and I so move.
Is there a second on Alderman Scott? You've heard all the items under the consent agenda. Is there any you wish to pull for further discussion? I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lonergan,
Yes.
Odenettle. Scott,
Yes.
Wonkel,
Yes.
Wormowski. Williams,
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Committee reports tonight. Planning and Public Works, Alderman Scott.
Mr. Mayor, we have 2 items. The first is the second reading of an ordinance amending the Jacksonville Municipal Code, Chapter 6, Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 3, Electrical Codes, Division 2, Permit and Inspections, Section 6-67, Adoption of National Electrical Code, Other Standards. And I so move.
Is there a second on that? Alderman Williams?
Be it ordained that the Jacksonville Municipal Code be amended to adopt the National Electric Code with the specific amendments proposed by the Inspections Department.
Any discussion? I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lonergan,
Yes.
O'Donnell. Scott,
Yes.
Wonkel,
Yes.
Wormowski. Williams,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Our second item is the first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 25, Traffic and Vehicles. Article 14, Regulation and Operation of Neighborhood Golf Carts and UTV Vehicles upon City Streets, Section 25-377, Permits Required. And I so move.
Is there a second? Alderman Lonergan?
Be it ordained that the Jacksonville Municipal Code, Chapter 25, Traffic and Vehicles be amended as regards the golf carts and UTV vehicles. Briefly, what we're doing here, and this was something that Skip had come across previously, our ordinance provided for the permits to be issued April 1st, when most of our permits are issued the first of the year. So we're backing that up to January 1 as opposed to April. Also, the fee remains at $100, but if a license or permit is purchased after June 30th, the fee will be reduced in half to $50. And probably most importantly, it adds language granting reciprocity to golf carts from other jurisdictions if they meet our requirements. We've informally been recognizing South Jacksonville permits on golf carts in Jacksonville. A couple of restrictions: they have to meet all of our requirements. You can't be a resident of Jacksonville, get your permit in South Jacksonville if it happens to be a little bit less. If you're a Jacksonville resident, your golf cart's gotta have a Jacksonville permit. Otherwise, we'll recognize someone only if their jurisdiction is also recognizing our permits, so we can drive out there.
Yeah. Steve?
I checked the village code and they changed their price $100, so they're the same as us now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what theirs is now.
Yeah, I checked it just as I arrived at the meeting. And City Clerk Bradshaw, has there been any checking of who registers for permits to make sure no village people are applying for ours or for, in the village for city residents?
That's one of the reasons why this came up, as to amend the ordinance, simply because we were getting those, and in the beginning, the reciprocation with them, they were started out at $75 and we were at $100. So I've been working with Chief Hansel, and that's why this has all come about, and they're gonna do the same thing that we're gonna do. They're just gonna duplicate ours, but he'll only authorize or sell to, say, South Jacksonville residents, and then we'll only sell to the Jacksonville residents. So kind of a handshake deal there. But yeah, we've been watching that, Steve, throughout the whole thing. We didn't issue any stickers at the time. Once they passed their ordinance, we didn't issue to South Jacksonville. And the other problem that we had was a lot of people buy their vehicles, their 4x4s, January, February, March, and when the weather gets nice, guess what? They want to jump out and get on the road. And we weren't issuing, it would costing them $100 to get it for 2 months, and then we'd charge them another $100 come May 1st. So this way it moves it to January 1st, and we take care of that cold weather when it's a nice day type situation that we've got. So
May I, excuse me, Skip, how many stickers or how many licenses do you think you've given out?
we've let's just say approximately 50. This year we ordered 70 because a few more people have come to us this spring that have just purchased new ones. So taking into consideration all the ones that have purchased them before and then these new ones, so we're between 50 and 70. And with regard to county people, because some people in the county, we've kind of just left that up. You know, if it's south of Jacksonville, we let South Jacksonville handle it, and if it's north of Jacksonville, we'll take care of it. So it depends on their address.
Any other discussion? I would ask.
Yeah. Hmm?
I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lonergan,
Yes.
O'Donnell,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Wankel,
Yes.
Grabowski, Williams,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
and Cook.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Very good. Any old business this evening? Yeah, Brandon.
I wanted to thank your office for sending the Ameren streetlight request. There will be one new streetlight positioned at the Women's Crisis Center to help provide them with nightlight security. And the other one in the alleyway was both replaced. But there are always streetlights out, and I asked the city council before if there was a possibility that while the Jacksonville Police Department's officers are on their night shift and not doing anything, if they see a streetlight out, maybe just report it to dispatch and they can get the list to Ameren to help turn on the lights around the city.
Thanks for your help on that, Brandon.
Thank you.
Any other old business? Any new business?
I volunteered at the TIOSA, the homeless shelter, every month since it was open, and now it is not open. April 1st, it closed its doors. So I just wanted to make sure that the city thinks about moving forward with something like other communities have done. I know Springfield purchased a facility, and then they requested proposal for the services. There's many options. I know Rockford did a great job, but you know, tackling the veteran homelessness with just putting up a tiny home on one of our empty lots would be a great improvement for the city, and we could say a lot if we ended veteran homelessness. As far as I know, every month that I volunteered at the homeless shelter, there was one veteran that was always there. So I just want to have you keep these people in mind.
Thank you. And I know that New Directions has been meeting internally as far as their board, and I also, Alan Bradish is going to be coming to the next meeting to kind of thank the council for having the TIOSA and kind of give them an update on how it went and things. So Alan will be here at the next meeting, and that's a question I had. Is there any conflict with us having the next meeting on Tuesday, April 27th instead of the 26th? Dan and I have a conflict on the 26th, but we'll make it happen. But April 27th, Tuesday night instead of Monday. That'll be where the new council gets sworn in on a Tuesday. I mean, if something comes up, just holler at me. If a number of us. Okay, any other new business?
Motion for executive session?
Motion to adjourn to executive session?
Second?
Alderman Hopkins, second by Alderman Large Old Nettle.
And that's to discuss collective bargaining and the possible sale of real estate.